Hey guys, here at Family Leisure, we like to go over some of the chemicals and the filtration to hopefully make your experience a little easier to maintain and take care of your spa. So the filtration on the Tropic Seas Elites, the Artesian Elites, the Island Series, and the Island Elites are all exactly the same. And they've got this nice wide mouth skimmer that they're skimming all the water right off the top, which helps pull all the oils off of the surface. And as you can see, this is just operating off of a small circulation pump, but it's pulling 30 gallons a minute. So when it's filtering right now, it's doing a tremendous job turning this water over and really polishes the water. So when you're looking at this filtration system, it's going to turn this spa over about 70 times a day. It's running your ozone 24/7, and it's running it through a mineral purifier. So your mineral purifier has copper and silver in it. The silver is a bactericide and the copper is an algicide. Your ozone 24/7 is actually killing bacteria as well. So the idea is if you're bacteria free, you don't even have to have any chlorine in the spa in order to maintain this hot tub. The ozone and the mineral purifier can do it by itself. So when you get in the hot tub, you're overloading the system. So what you need to do when you get out of it, there's a 20-minute timer on the jets, and you just need to hit your jets and throw in a little bit of chlorine. So everybody's going to affect the water a little differently, and it's all going to depend on how many people are in it and how long you've been in it as to how much chlorine you'll put in. And it would be anywhere from 1 to 4 ounces of chlorine. 4 would be a lot. So 1 ounce really should get the job done if it's just a couple of people. And the idea is to just kill the bacteria that you've just put in, let the mineral purifier and the ozonator take over from there. So even by the next day, we want it to be natural fresh water every time you go to get in your spa. So with the filtration system working, there's a few chemicals that you're going to need to use to maintain the spa on a regular basis. And you're really doing two things to your water. You're disinfecting the water and then you're maintenancing the water. The disinfecting side is going to be your chlorine, your mineral purifier, and your ozone. The maintenance side of it is going to be your pH and your alkalinity. So the pH and the alkalinity is probably the hardest to maintain because you can't see it, taste it, smell it. You actually have to put a test strip on it. And people make the mistake of seeing crystal clear water and they think everything's okay. And the reality is your pH could be really high or really low. So when you're talking about pH and alkalinity, that's what does damage to your hot tub long term. So if you go 6 months to a year with really high pH or really low pH, you can be doing damage to pumps and heaters. So when you're talking about your general maintenance of your spa, you really want to keep that pH at pH neutral. And it's very easy to do, to test it on the test strip, check it on the back of the bottle. And really when you're talking about pH up and pH down, in our area the pH tends to be really high, and so we do what we call beating it down, where once a day, one day you're going to take it and you're going to basically hit it once an hour until your pH comes into line. So you don't want to just dump a whole bottle of pH down in there because it is an acid and you don't want to overrun the system with it. So it's a gradual process, and generally if you're high at the beginning, it's going to take you a few hours to get it down and get it into line. Once it's in check, then the next day, come and check it one more time. pH likes to creep back up. Just check it one more time to make sure it's good. You really want to get to a point where you're only checking your pH once a week. So once you get it set, don't burn test strips every day checking your pH and alkalinity. Let it go and get it to the point where you're doing it once a week. And it's okay if it's a little high or a little low. We're not really asking you to be super chemist here. We just want to get it close. So if you're close, a little high, little low, don't really mess with it too much. It's when you're trending towards that high side or trending towards the low side that you want to address it. And it is just really simple, pH up, pH down as far as the alkalinity and the pH goes. Then your mineral purifier is a nice item that basically just goes right inside the filter right here. I've got one in this unit right here, and when you pull this out and you put it back in there, it's going to last you for 4 months. So you really want to check your calendar, make sure that you've got it set. Every 4 months you want to do a drain and fill. If you do it right 3 times a year, if you do a spring, summer, fall, it really sets you up nicely. So in the winter time, you're not messing with your draining the water and cleaning filters and all that kind kind of good stuff. So it makes it really easy if you do a spring, summer, fall on the maintenance side of it. Every time you drain and fill your spa, you need to put a bottle of Metal Gone in. What this Metal Gone does is it sequesters the metals and prevents it from calcifying. If the spa calcifies, it's a gritty, sandpapery substance that'll coat your entire shell. If you don't use the Metal Gone, you're kind of playing Russian roulette with your hot tub. Don't do that. Use this bottle of Metal Gone every time and prevent it from calcifying. Then there's a few other products besides your chlorine, very easy to use, and again, sparingly is fine. There's a product called Defender. This is also a stain and scale. So once a week when you test your pH and alkalinity, pour a couple ounces of stain and scale in or Defender. That's going to help prevent calcium in the spa, and this is a product that basically works really well with the water. Renew is just a shock. There's two types of chlorine. Some have test strips that have the free chlorine and the total chlorine on it. I don't really want to confuse you too much, but this will help free up your chlorine and it unbinds it. So once a week, if you want to put a cap of this in, this is a great item that kind of helps keep your spa fresh and keeps that chlorine active. There's two other products here. There's an enzyme, which is Spa Perfect, and then there's Bright and Clear. These are to be used only as needed. I'm not a huge fan of using these products, but if you get oils in your spa, it's a good item that helps eat up the oils. So your enzyme here, you need to shake this bottle. It's the only product you need to shake because the enzymes will actually settle on the bottom. So before you use it, shake it real well and just a couple ounces in there. This will actually clean out some of the oils in your filter, and this will foam the water a little bit because those enzymes are working when they do that, and it's actually eating up those oils. So this product, you can use that once a week if you want to. If your water turns slightly cloudy, you can use this Bright and Clear. This is a coagulant. It'll group everything together. It'll kind of leave a little ring around the inside of your tub. So what you'll want to do is get a paper towel and just pull it out once it actually does its job and works through. This product, again, only as needed as far as the setup on it. Then you've got your two filters here. The filter that has the mineral purifier has a hole right in the top. This goes right in there, and this basically, this is the workhorse of your hot tub. 30 gallons a minute's pulling through here, and this is doing a lot of filtration for you. This filter you're going to need to pull out a little bit more frequently and clean. You can do a soak of your filter once a month if you want to. That'll help pull all the oils out of it. It's usually an enzyme base, and you just want to make sure before you put your filter back in, hose it down really good and make sure you get all the solution out of your filter before you pop it back in your hot tub. And then this is your standard filter as far as the spas go. This is a 50 square foot filter. This one's only being used when you're actually in the tub using the spa. So this one doesn't pull as much filtration through it, but again, maybe once a month you want to pull this out, hose it down in between the pleats. You can also soak this one and keep it really clean, and that's obviously going to extend the lifespan on it. This mineral purifier Nature 2 program with your ozone coupled with this wide mouth skimmer filtration system, by far the easiest, most simple system to run and maintain, and that's again with your Artesian Elite spas, your Island Elites, your Islands, and your Tropic Seas Elites. Just really great system to use as far as the spas go. With this program, it has the best filtration system, so when you're buying an Artesian Elite, a Tropic Seas Elite, an Island Elite, or an Island Series spa, you can't get a better filtration system, ozone system. With the Nature 2 mineral purifier, it makes it absolutely easy to maintain and take care of your spa. If you have any questions on this program, make sure that you contact your local Family Leisure dealer, and they'll be more than happy to assist you with any of these programs. Okay, Family Leisure, we'd like for the delivery and install to go smoothly, so we'd like to go over just a pre-delivery install checklist. A few things that you can go over to make sure that everything runs absolutely perfect for you. So the first thing we'd like to talk about is your concrete slab or wood deck. So you need a solid foundation for the spa to set on. You don't want there to be too much slope to your concrete slab, but it is okay to have a little bit. If you've got a slope, it's always best to try to put the filtration on the deep end. As far as a wood deck goes, a solid foundation for your wood deck, almost any wood deck will work. You want something that's obviously got good support underneath it and is going to be able to hold the weight of the tub. So you're looking at about 150 pounds per square foot on a spa, and if your deck can hold that, then you're going to have no problem as far as putting a hot tub on it. As far as your water goes, you just want to make sure you're using just regular hard water. So you don't want to use soft water. So some people that have soft water think that that's going to be better for your spa, but salts adversely affect your pumps and heaters, and so you're actually better off not using soft water at all. Just go ahead and use hard water. If you're on a well, there are pre-filters that you can attach to your hose that help pre-filter that water out, and with these great filtration systems, it's only going to take a little bit of time and your water is going to look absolutely spectacular, just adding a little bit of chlorine and with your filtration system. So keep in mind too, as far as your spa, you want to place it in the right direction. So you've got a couple of things going on there. You want to find what I would call the captain seats in your hot tub. Generally there's 2 seats that are going to be your premier seats, and just make sure that those seats are facing in the direction that you want to be looking when you're actually sitting in your spa. So get the spa situated where you want to be looking when you're in the hot tub, then put your cover and the cover lifter in the direction that you want it to go after that. At one point I put mine towards my neighbors. As tall as these covers are with the cover lifter, it makes for a nice privacy fence. It can act as a nice windbreaker as well. So when you're looking at this hot tub, these actually are the 2 captain's chairs in this corner and this corner here. I would have put the cover lifter to that side there and made it so that that was behind the seats where I wanted to be looking out towards. So my equipment is generally where the topside control is where your equipment access is. You need to make sure you're also giving yourself plenty of access on that front side. You're going to need to get in there every once in a while, not very often, but you want to have access just in case you need service, or sometimes if you drain your spa, you go through that access to drain your hot tub. So the other thing is your cover lifter itself is very easy to use. It's going to need about 16 inches behind the hot tub in order for that cover lifter to work properly, about 4 inches on each side for the bar, and it's just very easy for one person to flip this cover over and for you to use the hot tub. All your Artesian covers are tapered 4 inches in the center down to 2 inches, and the water will just run right off. So fantastic covers as far as these spas go, and again, one person can easily handle getting this cover on and off the hot tub. So the other thing we need to make sure of is that we've got our electrical set up correctly. Most spas are going to take anywhere from a 50 to a 60 amp breaker if they're a 220 volt hot tub. So with the electrical, the mistake that people make is they run the power from their main box to a disconnect box, but they don't pull the pigtail all the way to the spa. So for us to deliver the spa, set it up and do the orientation, we're going to need enough wire to get all the way to the front left corner or the front right corner, plus an additional 6 feet so we can get the wire all the way into the hot tub. Our guys can make the final connection inside the spa. They fill it, go over all the operating instructions, do a real nice orientation for you so when they walk away, everything's set up and ready to go. So if you have all of your area prepped properly, you know what direction your hot tub's going to go, the cover direction, and you have plenty of wire in order to get this thing wired up, it's going to make it just for an easy, simple install once Family Leisure comes out to your house to deliver your hot tub. All right, so one of the newest products at Family Leisure is the Frog Smart Chlor system. We utilize the flip and float system that actually helps tell you when your chlorine is out on the product. But when you add the Smart Chlor to your water, you dial this up to 3, and there's a little dial on the back. Just dial it to 3, float it in your water, and then basically when this is empty, the chlorine chamber, it'll actually flip upside down and it'll actually tell you when you need to re-add a new chlorine chamber. The chlorine chambers will last for approximately 1 month. They sell a 3-month supply here, it comes with your starter kit 1 month supply, and then your mineral purifier will last for 4 months. So if you buy the 3 months and the 1 month, you'll have a complete 4-month package that'll get you all the way through your first 4 months of use. Every 4 months, it's good to drain and fill your hot tub. Remember, every time you drain and fill, you want to add a bottle of Metal Gone. This sequesters the metals and prevents your spa from calcifying. If your spa calcifies, it's a gritty, sandpapery substance that coats your entire shell, and trust me, it's no fun to get rid of it. So when you're talking about this Metal Gone, don't forget this. Make sure you add this every time you drain and fill the spa. Then when you put the At Ease system in there, make sure you put the boost in. This boost is basically just giving you an initial shot of chlorine that gets your spa up and running and gets it going. So this is what you want to do to kind of activate the water and get your Smart Chlor system going. So you're basically doing two things to the water. You're disinfecting the water with the Smart Chlor, and you still have to maintenance the water with your pH up and down. So when you test your pH up and down, if your pH does test high, it's pretty easy to beat that pH down and get it into range. So you're just going to use your Smart Chlor test strips. If it does test in range, that's awesome. You're really just trying to get it close. So we're not trying to be chemists here. Just get it close within range and let it go. When you're talking about high pH though, you want to do what I call beating it down. So basically once an hour, you want to put about 1 to 2 capfuls of pH down in and get that pH to come down. It can take a little while to get it into range, but once it gets there, it generally locks in. This is probably the thing that frustrates people the most when they first get in their hot tub, is getting your pH and alkalinity set. So when you're talking about the other products, we have Shock. This is a non-chlorine shock. You just do this once a week. So once you get your At Ease system going and you have your Smart Chlor in the water, you only have to add Shock once a week to the system. Then you've got a couple of other products here. You've got Defender. This is basically a stain and scale. So once a week, just a couple ounces, and get that going in your spa. And then you have 2 more products. One's basically a coagulant. This is Bright and Clear. This, if you got cloudy water, you can put a little bit of this in the water. It'll actually group everything together. You've got a little bit of work to do after it's done doing its thing. It'll tend to leave a ring around the tub. So get a paper towel and just pull it out, and it'll clean up your water real nice. It's just a little bit of work on the back end. Your Spa Perfect is an enzyme, and what's nice about an enzyme is that it's actually eating up the oils and there's no real residue left over. So with this product, you do need to shake it before you use it. Enzymes tend to settle at the bottom, so just make sure you're shaking it before you put this in. This can be a once a week product or as needed. So these are really nice additions to your spa lineup. And when you're talking about the ease of maintenance on this, if you have a really good filtration system, you're using the At Ease system, it makes it effortless and easy to maintain your spa. We use this with our Viking spas, our American Select hot tubs, and our Tropic Sea Standard series from Artesian. So great products for these lineups, and makes it just simple and easy to own. So make sure that you see your local Family Leisure dealer with any questions that you might have. All of them should have a cheat sheet on file that they can get you, and are more than willing to assist you with any chemical questions that you have. Okay, we want to go over just a couple of things with the spa controls. There's 2 modes on a hot tub. There's a filtration mode, and then there's actually a mode that allows you to flip through 3 different levels in the hot tub. So when you go into the levels, there's an economy mode, which is EC. Then there's a SL mode, which is sleep. And then there's also an ST mode, which is standard. So you always want to have your spa in ST, especially in the wintertime. That means it will always heat up the temperature and maintain that spa exactly where you have it set. When you go into economy mode, the EC mode, that's only going to filter when you tell it to, and we'll show you how to set the filtration cycles, which will actually enable you to set those modes. Then basically it's temp, light, and then temp to change your mode. So you can go between ST, EC, and then also you can go to SL. SL is sleep. Generally, you never put your spa into sleep mode. You really want the filtration running at least during your filtration cycles. And like I said, if you keep it on ST, that's the best mode to keep it in, and that's where I would keep your spa in ST. Then you can actually set the filtration cycles on this hot tub, which means you can tell it when you want the spa to filter. In order to do that, you do temp, jets, temp, and now I can toggle between F2 all the way up to F8. And that's F2 is going to give you two 2-hour filtration cycles. If you go to F4, that's going to give you two 4-hour filtration cycles, F6, two 6-hour filtration cycles, and F8, two 8-hour filtration cycles. I would keep it at F4. That's a good amount of filtration. Anytime it calls for heat, it's also going to kick on low speed and filter. So in the wintertime, you're going to get a little bit more filtration than you will in the summertime, but that's just fine. There is an FC mode where FC is filter continuous, where you can actually run it all the time, 24/7. You might want to do that if you've maybe lost the water and it's turned cloudy on you. You could put it into FC and get it going for you all the time. But I would go to F4, hit the jets one more time. So in order to set the filtration cycles, it's temp, jets, temp. And in order to set the modes, it's temp, light, temp. So that's a real easy orientation on how to use that Viking control. This also works with the Garden series with Artesian, Tropic Seas standards, and it's very similar on your American Select hot tubs as well. Again, check with your local Family Leisure dealer. They'll be more than happy to walk you through these, and most all of these owner's manuals are online, and it makes it very simple to go through and do these filtration cycles.
Where family and fun come together.